Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Adam here, and today I'm going to be talking about the OnePlus Nord and its release date tomorrow. Now, I'm not going to be, unfortunately, doing a live stream, and that is actually because um, last time I did a live stream of the Apple live stream, um, I got actually copyright strikes. So that actually really sucks. But I'll figure a way around that. But not for this specific launch. Yeah, let's just get started with the launch date. Now, this is launching tomorrow. So this is going to be the final kind of leaks and rumors because it's launching tomorrow at 7 a.m. Pacific time and 10 a.m. Eastern time. Now in India, I think it's like 5 p.m. or something like that. I don't know the exact time, but as you probably find out, or you could just look it up on Google.com, and you'll find the result. I'm pretty sure. So let's get started with the first leak, and that is the price. Now, OnePlus did confirm that the price of the OnePlus Nord is going to be under 500 bucks. Now, I don't really want it to be under 500 bucks. I think it will still be a huge sell, and a lot of people are going to buy it. It might even come to the US, which I'm going to be talking about later. And yeah, but a lot of people wouldn't really want it to be just $4.99 or something like that. But what it might be is maybe $3.99 or $4.09 or something like that. It really depends, and it's probably going to be some sort of weird number because it's going to be probably Indian rupees. So that's going to be the number. So it might be like 367 or something like that, or 361. So a lot of people have been saying in like the 350s to 400s range. A lot of leaks have been saying that. But to be honest, we really just don't know. I'm really hoping that is under like 399 or at least under like 440 or 450 because then it could compete against Apple's iPhone SE, and I think with that it would knock it out of the park completely because even though it doesn't have the best processor, it is like the second best processor. So it's very, very good. And yeah. So, it's just really a great phone, and I'm really excited about it, actually. I had some thoughts before about it not being so good, and I wasn't that excited, but now I'm actually really excited for it. And after I keep hearing more and more leaks of how good the camera's going to be, it's going to be a flagship camera, same as the OnePlus 7 Pro. That's the next leak that I'm actually going to get into, and that is the cameras. Now, there are going to be 6 cameras in total. Now, those 6 cameras are 4 rear cameras and 2 front-facing cameras. Now, those 4 cameras are going to be, first, a 48 megapixel IMX586 sensor, and that is the same as the OnePlus 7 Pro, and the same as the OnePlus 8. So really impressive right there. I wasn't expecting to have a good camera, but it actually might have a great camera. Not as great as the OnePlus 8 Pro or, a super flagship phone, but it does have, like OnePlus 8 kind of, sensor. I mean, it has the same sensor as the OnePlus 8, which is really impressive because it was released this year, and that is like a $600 phone, or no, $700 phone. So really impressive there. And yeah, so the next camera is the ultra-wide camera. Now, I believe this is I think this is 16 megapixel ultra-wide, so probably the same as the OnePlus 7 Pro or the OnePlus 8. So it doesn't have that good of a field of view, but it will probably do the job and will be probably pretty good. From my experience, through software, the OnePlus 7 Pro had a pretty good ultra-wide camera at first, and now it has a really great ultra-wide camera. So over time, cameras improve through software updates and things like that, and they make little, optimizations for the camera, so, the camera gets better. So now the next 2 cameras I'm not actually that excited for, but I'm a little happy that they at least didn't put trash cameras. Because they actually put a 5 megapixel macro camera. Now, I hate macro cameras. I absolutely hate them. However, it is actually kind of good because they're actually putting a 5 megapixel macro camera. And 5 megapixel macro cameras aren't that bad. 5 megapixel macro cameras on some flagship phones, and from my experience, they've actually been pretty good. And so even though, in my opinion, they're kind of useless, not too many people use them, it's still pretty good, and it's better than just a 2 megapixel macro camera that no one's ever going to use because it's terrible quality. This one actually might be good quality, so I'm really excited for that actually. And then the depth sensor. Now, there's going to be a 5 megapixel depth sensor. Once again, I don't really use portrait mode that often, but I do see the point in that. That one is actually not needed, but it does definitely help with a lot of things with the camera and portrait mode. It makes just your shots look better, and yeah. So now let's go on to the two front-facing cameras. Now the two front-facing cameras one is a 32 megapixel front-facing camera, which by the way is better than the OnePlus 7 Pro, OnePlus 8, and yes, the OnePlus 8 Pro. I'm not saying it's like it has a higher, it has a higher megapixel count. It could be worse, but I believe it might be better. I'm just, speculating that. We also have an 8 megapixel ultra-wide camera, which, is not that useful for front-facing videos. Like, I don't really do front-facing, ultra-wide shots. I don't really need that many people in a shot, usually for a selfie. Usually the wide camera is actually just wide enough for a ton of people. But, I guess it is pretty helpful. Now, I really don't like the dual camera punch-out. In my opinion, it just doesn't look that good. It looks too generic, if that makes sense, because a lot of other smartphones, like the Realme X50 Pro and the Realme 6, and, a ton of other phones have that same kind of thing. So it looks like they're just, being kind of a generic brand, if that makes any sense. But yeah, it's helpful in some scenarios. And it seems to be, it probably won't be the best ultra-wide camera, but you don't need it to be. And I believe it is going to be a 105-degree field of view. So pretty wide field of view, and yeah, pretty excited for that. Now, one other thing, let me know in the comments below if you think that the OnePlus 7, the OnePlus Nord is going to be able to record at 4K 60. In my opinion, it is. And I haven't seen really any leaks about it, but, it could happen. So, yeah. Now let's talk about the performance. Now, there's been a lot of, performance leaks on Geekbench. There was about a OnePlus Lite or a, OnePlus Nord Lite, and I don't know if that's happening, but OnePlus did confirm that the OnePlus Nord is going to be using the Snapdragon 765G. And so that's actually a pretty good processor. Now, comparing that with the Snapdragon 845 or the 855, comparing that to the 845, it's actually really similar. Has pretty similar, Geekbench results to the 845. It's a little, it might be about, actually, it might be a little bit higher. I'm not really sure, but I believe it is very similar to the 845. But it does have some kind of cool additions that I personally do not care about at all, and I think it's kind of useless, but a lot of people might think that it's important. Now, from a poll, a lot of people just say it's stupid. And what I am talking about is 5G. Now, the OnePlus Nord is going to be coming with 5G, which is actually pretty cool, considering, it's such a cheap phone. Now, I don't care about 5G. And the reason actually why, if you're curious why smartphone prices for, this year has been so high, like the S20 Ultra, OnePlus 8 Pro, is actually because the 865G actually, you cannot have an LTE version of that. So you actually have to pay more for 5G. That is kind of annoying. Now, I'm not really sure about the 765G. It does seem like it's on some really, really cheap phones. And so I haven't really seen the prices really go up. So it's actually pretty cool if they do put 5G on it, which they are. So that's actually pretty great because, you don't need it, but eventually you will. I just think it's useless right now. But, yeah. Now, this is going to come with, I believe, 6, 8, or 12 gigabytes of RAM. That's pretty good. That's actually the same as the OnePlus 7 Pro right here. And, yeah, so not that bad. Pretty impressed with that. And yeah, so a decent amount of RAM, so good multitasking and things like that. And Yeah, it should be pretty good. Now let's talk about the display, and the display of the OnePlus Nord should be really great for the price. It will be a 1080p AMOLED panel that supports actually 90 hertz. It has 90 hertz display on it, so same as the OnePlus 7 Pro, except this has a higher resolution. But do you really need, uh, a 1440p panel? Because it's pretty hard to tell the difference, and in my opinion, that's really good because even the OnePlus 8 has that, and there's not that big of a difference because it's really high resolution still, and I believe it's going to be in the 400s for the PPI, so that's really good. And so you can't see any pixels or anything like that. Not as sharp, but still very good. Now finally I'm going to talk about kind of the design and the cases and things like that. So yeah. So with the design, it's actually going to be the exact same as what we have now. We have an aluminum frame, as you can see, and we also have glass on the back. So I believe they are going to have a frosted glass, which is really cool. And so it's going to come in different colors. I'm not sure the exact colors, but I know one of them is going to be blue, and I think there's going to be a blue-green model. So it's actually going to be kind of similar to the OnePlus 8 Pro or the OnePlus 8. So pretty great there. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the cases. Now I did pull up a website here. This is GSM Arena, so props to them. Anyway, here are some of the cases. And there is actually a Jerry Rig Everything one. And you could see, I confirmed the green color as you can see on the back because it's a clear case. So let's take a look here. And as you could see, this I believe is I'm not really sure. I believe it's by some sort of designer, just like they did with the OnePlus 8 series. And as you can see, there's like the bumper case, I believe. This is a clear case. And it looks like to come in different colors. Actually, this one looks very similar to the OnePlus 7 Pro. I don't know if this is just me, but very similar color to the OnePlus 7 Pro. If you look there, look here, it's pretty similar. Anyway, and there's also a Jerry Rig Everything case, really cool there. And you can see they did a really awesome design actually, and just pretty awesome cases in my opinion. I really like the cases. Let me know in the comments below, and I'm pretty excited. Oh, one more thing. So what was I gonna say? Oh, right. So the OnePlus Nord is actually going to come in two different storage sizes. That is going to be 128 gigabytes, 256 gigabytes. So actually really awesome. Same as the OnePlus 8, same as the OnePlus 7 Pro. So pretty great. Now, oh, one more thing. I keep saying one more thing, but sorry about that. Should you buy the OnePlus 7 Pro or the OnePlus Nord? Because these are actually really similar prices. Now, you might be asking, what is the OnePlus 7 Pro going for? It's going around for $360. So, on eBay. And on most sites, it's going for like $400. So, I'm just saying $400. So, anyway, sorry about that if there's any background noise. But, the OnePlus Nord should be pretty awesome. I mean, right. So, should you buy the OnePlus... I keep forgetting. I got it. So, should you buy the OnePlus 7 Pro or the OnePlus Nord? So, the OnePlus 7 Pro, $360. OnePlus Nord, question mark. Now, I'm going to go over different prices. So, the OnePlus 7 Pro, $360. And then the OnePlus Nord, in my opinion, if it's $400, get it over the OnePlus 7 Pro. Just because you might be like, wait, but this has a better processor. In most cases, you won't notice the difference between the 855 and the 765G. They're very, very close, and you really won't notice the difference. Now, and not only that, you're going to be getting more software updates than this. Android 11 is probably going to be its last update, or maybe Android 12. I'm really hoping Android 12, and it's most likely going to be Android 12. but it might be, Android 11 might be its last software update. With the OnePlus Nord, you're getting like a lot more support than the OnePlus 7 Pro. So, and you're also getting, you know, more cameras, and even though you don't get a telephoto camera, the telephoto camera on here is okay, and it's pretty good, but I think you really won't notice a huge difference. You will notice a difference, but not a huge difference. And, yeah, it just has, you know, probably maybe improved speakers or things like that. So, overall, my opinion, if it's $400, get the OnePlus Nord. Now, if it's like $450 or $499, get the OnePlus 7 Pro. It has a better processor, has you know, the telephoto camera, has a full screen display, but overall, get the OnePlus Nord in most cases. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm really excited for tomorrow for the AR launch of the OnePlus Nord, and I'll see you guys next time.